SD Gundam Age FX. Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, GundamReviews.net, and Gundam Age set itself apart by, instead of having 2 leads, by actually having 4, but it's been a nice touch that we've gotten all 4 of them in super deformed BB Senshi, and now it's time to take a look at the last, and I wonder if in some eyes the best, the Age FX. 2012 release, 1,000 Japanese yen. Good cover art here where it's actually laid out, made by Bandai of course, there's the name bar, and yes, that BB Senshi line just keeps on kicking, 376. Not the first model of the Age FX, and definitely not the last, as we've already got the advanced grade which sells for 800 yen over there on the left, and you'll notice that it's got all green C funnels there. And there's also the high grade Age FX for double the price, 1,600 yen. This one is missing its C funnels because they've all been borrowed for the burst version, which is going to get an even better version actually done up in proper blue come January. The reason I brought up the relatively plain looking cover is that if you compare it to its predecessors, both in terms of leads and the SD line specifically from Age, the Gundam Age 1 was sort of different because it sort of set an interesting take on this whole thing, where they were going to give you one head and one chest, but they were going to give you the parts for all of the wearers, which means you were getting limbs for the normal, the Titus, and the Sparrow there. That also sold for 1,000 yen. And if you take a look over there at the Age 2, we had Asim, Kyo's father. We have the normal and the double bullet there with just it transformed over there. So only 2 of them with a very obvious difference. Also 1,000 yen. And here we have the Age 3 normal with definitely a filled up cover there. Orbital Fortress, this is 1,200 yen, which means when you do look at just the Age FX box and you just see one Gundam there and you see it's only for 1,000, great cover art, it just looks a little bit lonely to the 8 that we've already seen. For a look at the features and what 1,000 yen is going to be getting you in this case, first of all, you're going to be getting a core fighter there, which is going to separate from the back of the Gundam. Looks like there's lots of colors and details over there. And you'll notice that they're saying it's going to move around and transform, but really you're just going to drop down the cockpit and plug that into the back, as we've seen on a lot of things talking about like G Gundam there. So that can go in there, and otherwise we have the back. It looks like some green seals there around that commander's fin, if you want to call it that. That's attached onto the back. Like with all the SD kits we've seen so far, you have the choice of the cute eyes or the serious all green eyes. And from the front, definitely he's going to look pretty good there. You'll notice that there's blue all over the C funnels, in addition to the green C funnels all over the body. We'll have to see how those actually work. You are able to move the foregrip there, they proudly boast. And then taking a look at the action, yes, you're going to be getting a big bazooka there. So here we've got the beam rifle, here you can put on the bazooka parts, similar to what we've seen with the high grade. And it looks like you can actually move out those parts down there, which is going to look pretty good. Action Base 2 sold separately is going to allow you to attach them on. And you can pop out the shoulders, which is always good to see. And here they are, showing off the C funnels, looking very impressive again. Green and blue launching off with the help of no stand whatsoever. That's just pure CG magic. Nice CG over here on the other side, but more importance is over here where you're going to see a picture of an untouched up, right out of the box version of this SD Age FX. And if you're not sure about that, they're even going to say it there in English for everybody out there. Here's what you're going to be getting in terms of the gimmicks. You're going to be getting the core fighter, the big bazooka there, and it looks like the same 14 with the 6 large and the 8 small pattern that we've seen so many times before this. And the most important thing being is that when it's not painted up, you'll notice that the C funnels there are going to be all green, unlike the high grade where we actually got some plastic and some seals to take care of that problem. You'd think that since they are going to be giving you a seal sheet you can make out down there, that they could have given you at least the option. However, it looks like he does have all the right colors in all the right places, especially on that chest. It'll just be a question of how much of those are going to come from the plastic plates and how many from the seals. Out of the box, you've got a familiar trope namer over there, if you want to put it that way, and here are the plates when it's already been assembled. A, B, C, D with a very nice green plate there for the E parts that are going to give you all those C funnels and nothing else, but also nice to see that much yellow. With the empty seal sheet giving you the choice of eyes that you can see up there, these green parts are going to get attached onto the chest. This is going to be hidden on the back waist armor. Here you've got the hand manipulator covers, the all-important Age symbol up there for the camera lenses, scopes, and this is going to provide the green on the back of the head. When you see this, you're not going to be too bad since a lot of these parts are going to be hidden on the back. It just would have been nicer if this was a whole lot bigger and they had given you the blue seals as well. Or even better, of course, plastic. With no transformation or part swapping, it seems like this should be a very straightforward manual compared to its predecessors. There you can see the plates with all the plastic in place, including PC303. Yes, they're showing you how to take the parts out. You're going to put together the head with the seals there on the eyes and on the back, And after you've put together the shoulders, which have a couple nice colors on there, legs relatively simple. You can see that the body's already constructed after 2 pages. And then it's on to the choices how you can put the core fighter and you can attach the bazooka parts onto the rifle there. Transformation, not that complex. And when we take a look at the back, it's going to be just a question. It's nice that they do this up in color of where the C funnels go, as they're going to show it from various angles, all of which are looking pretty good. Too bad they can't go zooming around. And Comic World, BB Senshi here is going to follow up. This is age 5 after the first 3. And the bad guy Legolas, the penultimate bad guy there, piloted by Zayhart. And you can see Old Man Flit in there, and we get to see some Dark Hound, some action now that he's actually being a responsible dad. And the 3 of them are all quite surprised. On the back, you can see some nice color pictures there of the line art, and they're looking pretty good overall. Can't wait to see this in G Generations. Here's the weapons gimmicked, and yes, they're telling you, buy yourself a lining marker, you can make them look a lot better. Altogether, here are the body parts with the C funnels put on. That's just snuck into the shot again, and there he is with his serious eyes in. For the legs themselves, nice solid plastic down there for the foot and for the back of the ankles, which is going to look good. You'll notice that you can attach C funnels onto the sides, on both sides actually, even though they're not going to show that around on the packaging. Just a ball joint though for the attachment. And is anybody tired of their high-grade C funnels falling off at the drop of the hat? Yes, especially if you've got 3 times for them. For the waist section though, it's going to have a nice solid blue part on there, no seals there, and you're going to have the legs sort of askew off to the back and the action base attachment. This is just going to be a big blue seal, but it's not all that bad and it actually fits on there fairly well despite the fact that it's not actually cut out perfectly symmetrical. Here are the large C funnels after we didn't get any on the legs, and you can see that these are not going to fall off because they have this little T-type attachment on there. Better than the high grade, and they are going to plug in very, very securely, in some cases too securely. They're almost impossible to take off, but so far, rock solid here. To go along with the now standard construction for chest for SDs, as you've got this moving point here, it's sort of cool the way you put on this age seal. It's just a big green seal that's going to sit under there, but this is a nice solid white piece of plastic on top. No seals, yellow plastic, always appreciated there on the sides and up to the neck, some black lining there and a small green sticker. Here's the shoulders bend. I was quite proud that's actually going to pop forward. And you've got some C funnels back on here. These are going to be the least secure, which is maybe similar to people's advanced grades. And you have your core fighter insert slot. But I'm a big fan of the way the arms are developed here for the Age FX with a nice solid white piece on top. You're not going to expect anything fancy and gray and bending parts in there. But if you want to really bring this kit to life, a black Gundam marker there. They've got a nice easy lip to use. Before you put the white part on, just take some black ink on there and it's just going to look a lot better than a lining marker. You can see that you're going to have the elbows in there with just a little bit of green or gray inner frame there. The white seals are going to sit on the manipulators all right, but of more importance, you're going to have those C funnels sitting in there nice and securely. These ones are really hard to actually get out. Here's the core fighter looking solid blue with some nice white parts added on down there for good measure. You can see that you've got some black black lining that you can go ahead and put in there. You've also just got a few C funnels with room for more on there if you really want to soup this guy up. And transformation? Yep, that's what we're talking about. To start with the big gun in the form of the bazooka there, I just went in there with the black Gundam marker again, just add a little bit of black into the barrel there, and this is going to detach nice and easily. You've got this part which is going to pop off, you can see the black paint on there, and then you can pop this part off, which is going to give you the scope, and you do have this nice little option here if you can actually take these parts. Yes, they're quite proud of this 4-stock moving around, and you can pop this off and you'll notice that it has 2 positions, so you can actually have this out for the bigger gun. Probably my only real complaint is just over here on the bazooka that they've got this scope attachment on there with a nice green seal, except unlike almost every other one I've ever seen, it's not indented, it's just sitting on a flat surface, so you can imagine with any sort of handling that that's just going to slide out of position. I probably say this every SD review, but BB Senshis are going to live or die, I figure, based on their head sculpt. And the Age FX doesn't really disappoint, you're just going to have some choices when you're putting it all together. First of all, lining opportunities, I could have put some more up there. Back here you're going to have this green seal, which is going to look alright. It's actually 2 pieces there. You've got an L shape and then you've just got a single one. It's a little tricky to put this blue piece in, but then again it's going to stay in there nice and secure, which is a nice trade-off. You can see the way the neck is going to move around there and the whole helmet pops off. So you do have this, but you don't have the nice eye swap feature that we've seen on things like the Knight Gundam. Over here for the eyes, I went with the serious ones, but off to the left and right, again, that black marker just sneaks in there and makes life a lot easier. You are going to have to choose which parts of this face mask to line. I like the horizontal line. The vertical lines, you have a lot more options in there. You can sort of make that a lot wider if you want to. And if you take a look at the V-fin, the way it attaches on here, you are going to have a big solid seal under there with the nice green parts showing through. but the blue and the yellow combination combined with the green in the background, I'd say this guy is doing a pretty good job of living. That's going to wrap up my look at the parts here, and I've got to say that overall it's not all that bad. Starting with the build, which is fun because you've got lots of colors and a fair number of plates. I mean, when we're talking E-plates here for SD Gundams, you know Bandai's doing something right in terms of complexity. And when you see it all put together, from the fact that you're going to get blue on the back of the legs to the blue on the front there in plastic, don't mind the seal so much in the back, but it's going to be the way that the C funnels fit on there so well, and you've got all the right blue in all the right places and just a little bit of black and really bring it to life. And the green seals are going to help in almost every place except for on the side of the bazooka, with decent playability with 3 different settings for the gun, if not 4, and the core fighter is going to look good. You can just imagine that this would have been just a solid blue chunk in the past, with the most important feature being no, not a double set of these. Somebody would have to be crazy to go and buy that, but instead just the way the head is going to look with the seals, the lining, and all the colors in the right places. Anyway, everybody, stick around to see it all put together because the parts in the build matter not, I suppose, to how it looks on your shelf. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun putting it together, so stick around and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. What blatant omission needs to be addressed? Well, how about this guy, who should be appearing over here on this side of the box, although they wouldn't need a proper body section. Yes, Bandai, he deserves a 1,000 yen SD all on his own. Not the X2, of course.